Hello, and welcome back to part 2 of the Tiny Habits workshop. In this section, we're going to talk about step 1 of the process, and then in the next video, we'll talk about the other steps. Let's get started. Okay, so as you know, forming a habit is like growing a plant. And we talked a little bit in the first video about how tiny this first habit needs to be. But let's envision that the habits that we're going to be creating are like a seed or a sprout. We need to start with something really, really small. In order to form these bigger habits, it's got to grow. So we're going to start from the very beginning, and then we're going to find a good spot for it in your garden or your life. And then we're going to nourish the tiny plant. So just keep in mind, we're not transplanting trees right now. We're thinking about planting seeds. So as we continue through the next 3 steps of this process, we're going to choose a tiny behavior. Then we're going to find an anchor behavior, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that means. And then 3 is to take action and make it happen. So step 1, we're choosing a behavior. So you've already thought a little bit about the thing in your life that you're wanting to be different. And now we have to think about a habit that would help you accomplish that change. So were you thinking, I want to be healthier? Were you thinking, I want to be able to breathe better? Were you thinking that I want to move more, that I want to be with my friends and family more? Those are all really good examples of things that we might want to change. I want to know more about something specific. Those are the things that we're wanting to change, and now we want to think about a specific habit that we need to develop, something that would make that happen. So if we're getting healthier, are we preparing meals? Are we stopping smoking? Are we going on more walks? Are we exercising? Are we hanging out with the people that we love more often? What's the habit that we're putting into our lives? So think about that for a second. And now, all right, we've decided. Moving on. Now we have to make that habit tiny, and I'm talking like really, really small. What's something that's a part of that habit? So if you're wanting to educate yourself more about something and you picked read a book, I want you to take that as small as read 1 sentence in a book. This is something that you can do every day, no questions. Like, I absolutely can do it. I don't need any real motivation to do this. It's quick, it's easy to do. I can make it happen. We've got some examples over there on the right. We're turning going for a walk every day into putting on your walking shoes every day. And that's something that's like a first step kind of task. So some habits you can think of as just like do it and then it's done, like reading a sentence in a book or doing 2 push-ups. That's something that's I've done this. And then there's preparatory tasks, which are like putting on your walking shoes or getting out your vitamins or laying out your clothes the night before if you have something specific you want to wear the next day. So you can choose what kind of habit this is, but we want to make sure that you have like a 10 out of 10 confidence level that you can get this done every day. And again, really, really try to think small here. Okay, what's your tiny habit? Did you pick one? Here's some examples over here on the right. You can look through that list. That might be helpful. But this is how small we're talking. Like, we're not flossing every tooth. We're flossing 1 tooth. We're pouring a cup of water. That's a preparatory task. Instead of drinking a cup of water, we're just pouring it. Opening my sketchbook. Any of those. Pay 1 bill. Just doing 1 tiny behavior as a starter step. You have yours in mind? Come back for part 3 and we'll talk about it.